in order for some answers, maybe we can now turn to Florida Congressman Michael Waltz, because he serves on the House Armed Services Committee, and he has served this great country. Congressman, great to have you on Jesse Watters Primetime tonight. What do you make of this? What are we supposed to assume this UFO?
You know, every time one of these incidents happens, and then every time the White House and Pentagon come to the podium, I end up with more questions than we have answered. And now it's, what is our shoot down criteria? What is a danger to the United States if apparently this much smaller object was shot down immediately, mainly because it was at 40,000 feet where civilian aircraft fly around? I don't know how many are around northern Alaska, but apparently that was the criteria. Then is that to say if it were at 60,000 feet, it wouldn't have been shot down and allowed to proceed? Or conversely, if the Chinese spy balloon was down where civilian aircraft are, it would have been shot down? Is that our only criteria or our main criteria? It doesn't make any sense. And from an oversight standpoint from Congress, we're going to keep demanding answers.
You know, Congressman, I don't want to push you beyond the responsible limits of your immediate knowledge on this. I'm not going to ask you to speculate, but can we at least possibly run through what the possibilities are on what this object could be? I mean, the Pentagon is not admitting that it was, again, yet another balloon. But they're not saying it wasn't either, from what I've heard. So what are our possibilities of what could be this object?
Well, that's the other thing I find bizarre. I mean, if we're sending up an F-22, takes it down with a Sidewinder, clearly they got, the aircraft got a shot picture on it. So just as it did the first time, why couldn't we then report back? It's just, again, it begs more questions. And right. I think the bigger question is, why is the CCP doing this? Right on the heels of its meeting with Biden just before Blinken was supposed to come, we were made to believe that there was going to be some kind of a reset. Yet these are in-your-face actions. And again, to the criteria, we allow one. Biden says it's no big deal. But yet it not only hovered over our ICBM site, it hovered over a stealth bomber base and over the command and control center for our entire nuclear arsenal. Hovered over it, loitered over it at 60,000 feet. You can collect a lot. And clearly the Chinese believe that this is providing them something. So we still have a ton of questions from an oversight standpoint. And we're not getting a lot of answers right now.
Let me ask you two questions at one time, if I might, in hopes that we can get some actual truth. So you brought up the shoot down criteria, Congressman. I did not serve in the military for this great country, as did you. But I cannot imagine, Congressman, that we go around shooting unidentifiable objects, that we don't know what they are, that nobody asks, hey, what is it, before first taking it down. So I'm having trouble trusting the Pentagon saying we don't know what this may be at this time. The second question, when you answer that, is Biden's saying this isn't a major breach. So can you enlighten us on exactly how often these types of incidences occur?
Yeah, so, on your first question, I mean, that's mine too. I mean, clearly the pilot got eyes on, the pilot got some kind of identification and was given the order that went all the way up to the president. I can't imagine they told the president, we have no idea what it is, but we're going to shoot it down, when last time we did know what it was and chose not to shoot it down. It just, I don't know what to make of that. But it is incredibly concerning. We don't have clear criteria. I can promise you this. If we sent something over China's nuclear arsenal and their key command and control, manned, unmanned, large, small, high, low, they would absolutely shoot it down. We know that, and we need to send that same message back to Beijing. Right. So, I mean, you can hear my frustration.
I do. And then really quickly, how often do these occur, these types of breaches?
Well, that's the other piece. Is apparently the Pentagon is looking backwards now, kind of rolling back the tape and finding where these different types of signatures, radar signatures happened. Right. That is an outstanding question to us. How often this has happened? We know it happened in the past all over the world, and this apparently is the first over the continental United States, but we have a real capability gap in the type of sensors, where they're looking, and we're still demanding those answers from the Pentagon of, well, what did we miss?
All right, Congressman Michael Waltz, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thanks, Will.